We are back at it again with more Scooby-Doo, and today we are going to cover a fun one. My name is Miles, and I'm taking a plunge to review every animated Scooby-Doo movie of all time, and that brings us to Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf. This story follows Shaggy as a race car driver, and he gets turned into a werewolf by Dracula and forced to drive in his monster road rally. Shaggy, Scooby, Scrappy, and Shaggy's girlfriend Googie have to win the race to turn Shaggy back to normal. And during the race, Googie and Scrappy have to help Scooby and Shaggy win, while Dracula and the other racers are doing their best to cheat and sabotage Shaggy from winning. So first off, I really like the premise of this one. I love the idea that Shaggy spends so much time running away from monsters, and this time, he is actually turned into one. It's fun to see how this crew handles the situation. Shaggy and Scoob are definitely integral to have in the story, not only because they are iconic, but their dynamic is what drives the heart and soul of the franchise. However, it does feel like Scrappy is thrown into the backseat in this one, as he's just sort of there. He mostly accompanies Googie in helping Scooby and Shaggy, but honestly, I wasn't under the impression that she needed his help at all. But let's talk about Googie for a second. This is the earliest appearance of a significant other for Shaggy. Her personality mostly revolves around how in love with Shaggy she is, but she is arguably the most competent character in this whole movie. Shaggy would have lost the race big time without her, and she's better at saving Shaggy than Dracula is at sabotaging him. It's cool to see, but we never see her again after this movie. I guess she wasn't too fond of the monster life. Personally, my favorite part of the movie is the parts between Shaggy being turned into the werewolf at the drive-in and just before the race. I really liked to see how the townspeople react to Shaggy and how the crew had to deal with that, and then the trials at Dracula's castle before the race were also really cool to watch. The bats, the castles, the monsters are what I love the most. This part of the movie is when we are introduced to the 1988 underground hit, The Werewolf Rock. It is their version of the Monster Mash, and not gonna lie, it slaps. Anyway, I'm not going to say that the Speed Racer-esque race at the end isn't entertaining. There's lots of puns and slapstick as Dracula orders his goons around trying to prevent Shaggy from winning. They drop nails, use giant spider webs, and other methods that result in Wile E. Coyote type of mishaps. Also, the puns and jokes between Dracula and Vampira, who is a commentator for the monster race, are top tier cheeky. I do think that the race goes on for what feels like a little too long, but with that, it is important to remember that this film was made to run with commercial breaks throughout because it was made for TV. The ads would actually break up the repetitiveness of the race, and it would seem much more natural. And the film does end on a plot twist that sets up for a sequel, but it never went anywhere, and we never really see these villains or even Googie ever again. Which is a shame because there certainly could be a sequel and it could work. But I doubt we'll ever see that given that this film came out so long ago. Overall, this movie is wildly silly and charming. Scooby-Doo and the Reluctant Werewolf isn't really one of my favorites, but still, it's a lot of fun and it could be your favorite. If it is, let me know in the comments and we'll talk about it. I would love to hear your thoughts. So be sure to follow me, hit that subscribe button for more reviews and more Scooby, and we still have a lot more movies to get through, and I'd like the company. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day.